So we're going to talk about something that sounds, well, kind of boring. A student, a crosswalk, an empty street. But stick with me here, because this tiny little moment, it actually tells us something huge about the invisible rules that keep our whole world running. Especially the rules that seem, completely pointless. All right, let's dive in. Okay, let me ask you something and be honest. You're standing at a crosswalk. The red hand is staring you down, but you look left, you look right, and there's absolutely nothing. Not a single car. What do? Come on, you know you'd cross. I mean, most of us would, right? It just makes sense. And that feeling that, of course I'd cross, it's the logical thing to do, that's exactly where our story kicks off today. It's all about a decision that seems totally rational, totally smart in the moment, but ends up being, well, a pretty big mistake. So let's meet our guy, Mike. Mike's an international student, and every single day he's got this routine. He walks to school, and his path takes him right past this big, busy road. So one morning, you know how it is. He's running late. He gets to that crosswalk, and of course, the light is red. But when he looks, the street is just empty, completely deserted. And bam, he's facing that exact same choice we were just talking about. And look, Mike's not being a daredevil here. He's not just running out into the street. He's being logical. He does the whole safety check, Looks left, looks right, double checks, confirms, coast is clear. In his mind, he's done his due diligence. The risk is zero. So the thought in his head is super simple. And from where he's standing, it's flawless logic. No cars, I can cross. And so he goes for it. And that's the moment. The exact moment is personal. In the moment, logic smacks right into something way, way bigger. The logic of the system. This right here is where the story really gets interesting. He's maybe halfway across the street when he hears it, a sharp whistle. He looks up, and there's a police officer waving him over. And just like that, all his thoughts about being late are gone, replaced by that sinking feeling in your stomach. He's been caught. So what's his first reaction? It's that same logic he started with. He says, "I'm so sorry," but then he immediately follows up with, "But there wasn't a car." He's trying to explain his thinking, right? That, yeah, maybe he broke the rule, but no one was in danger. This is the pivot point of the whole story. The officer doesn't even get into the was there a car debate. He just says something that completely reframes the whole situation for Mike. He says, "I get it, but you need to understand the traffic law isn't just about cars. It's about safety for everyone." Not just about cars, but about everyone. See, the officer starts to explain that Mike didn't just break a single rule. He was actually poking a hole in a much bigger thing, the entire system. So what do we mean by system? Think of it like a computer's operating system, but for society. It's this set of shared rules, this framework that lets millions of us who don't know each other, well, not crash into each other all the time. It's all about predictability. It's not about your one decision. It's about how all of our decisions work together. And that's the real clash here, isn't it? Mike was thinking on level me. He was asking, is this safe for me in this one moment? But the law, the system, it's operating on level everyone. It has to create predictability, so it's asking a totally different question. Is this setup safe for everyone all the time? I mean, think about it. The officer lays it out. If everyone just decided for themselves when to cross, it would be chaos. Drivers would have no idea what to expect. That trust, that simple, unspoken agreement that we'll all wait for the green light, that's the only thing keeping the whole system from completely breaking down. And this is the really important part. Who is this system for? Who does it protect? It's for the people who can't make that split-second decision. It protects kids who aren't great at judging how fast a car is going. It protects older folks who can't just dash across the street. People with disabilities, even a driver who's lost and confused. The rule isn't there for the person who's quick and paying attention, like Mike. It's there for everybody else. And for Mike, this is like a light bulb going on. You can almost see the gears turning in his head. It's a total perspective shift. He's suddenly seeing the streets, the law, everything in a completely new way. The officer can tell Mike gets it, so he doesn't give him a ticket, just a warning, because the point was never to punish him. It was to teach him something. And as Mike walks off, his mind is just racing, replaying that whole conversation. And here's the big realization he has, the aha moment. The law wasn't asking him to be clever and figure out if the coast was clear. It was asking him to do something much simpler. Just follow the rule. To be a predictable piece of the puzzle. Not so he could be punished, but so the whole system could work. For everyone. And this new way of thinking, it doesn't just stay an idea in his head. It actually changes what he does next. And maybe more surprisingly, it changes how he feels. So look at his journey here. That first morning, he crosses on red, and what does he feel? Scared, anxious. But then he has this whole revelation about the system. So the very next day, he waits for the green light. And the feeling isn't annoyance, it's calm. So picture this. The very next day, he's back at the same crosswalk. Same situation, red light, totally empty street. It's the exact same test. But this time, Mike's different. He just stands there. And he waits. Why? Because he gets it now. He's not just waiting for a car to pass. He's participating. He's upholding his end of the bargain. He's doing his tiny, tiny part to keep this massive, invisible system of trust running. A system that helps millions of people he'll never meet get through their days safely. So that leaves us with one last question for you. Think about it. What's a small rule you follow? Not because you're afraid of getting caught, but just because you get it, because you know you're part of something bigger. What you come up with might just show you one of those invisible threads that's holding our whole world together.